Welcome to XYED Mysteries, where every secret hides a story and every story hides a truth. I'm your host, the voice that guides you through the unknown, where the past whispers and the future listens. So sit back, let your imagination take the lead, and prepare for another mystery that dares to unfold before your eyes. Last time on the Lost Map. Arya, an ambitious historian with a heart full of curiosity, stumbled upon a centuries-old chest hidden beneath the ruins of her late grandfather's library. Inside, she discovered an ancient, glowing map etched with symbols no one had ever seen before, and just as she brushed her fingers over its shimmering lines, a whisper echoed in the silence. "Find the island, before they do." The night was still young when Arya found herself standing on the edge of the old harbor, the salty breeze brushing against her face. The map's glow had dimmed since last night, but its strange energy still pulsed faintly in her hands, alive, almost aware. She had spent the entire night decoding the inscriptions, tracing each line, and comparing it with maritime charts. Everything pointed toward one location, an unmarked island deep in the North Atlantic, one that didn't appear on any modern map. She rented a small boat, determined to uncover what her grandfather had never told her. As dawn painted the horizon in hues of gold and blue, Arya set sail, unaware that eyes were watching her. Mist hours passed. The sea was calm at first, until a thick fog rolled in. The compass needle began to spin wildly, refusing to settle. Her GPS lost signal. For a moment, only the haunting cry of distant seagulls filled the air. Then, a shadow emerged from the foggy silhouette of land, rising like a secret kept too long. Arya's breath caught. "The island," she whispered. As the boat reached the shore, she stepped onto the soft, dark sand. The air was colder here, heavy with silence. The trees that lined the coastline were twisted and ancient, their roots crawling over stones marked with the same symbols as her map. She followed a narrow path into the jungle, the crunch of leaves beneath her feet echoing like footsteps behind her. But when she turned, nothing. A whisper of wind. Hours into her exploration, she reached a clearing, a circular stone altar half buried under vines. At its center lay an ancient compass, made of gold and crystal. The symbols on its rim matched those on her map. When she touched it, the earth trembled, the compass needle spun, and then stopped, pointing directly toward the mountains beyond. But before she could move, she heard footsteps. She ducked behind the altar, heart pounding. Out of the shadows emerged a man in a dark coat, carrying a lantern. His face was rough, scarred by salt and time. He stopped, studying the compass, then muttered in a voice that chilled her spine, "They found it." After all these years, Arya's pulse raced. Who was he? And what did he mean by they? The man turned suddenly, as if sensing her presence, but before his eyes could find her, a deep rumble echoed through the island. The ground split open, revealing a glow from beneath the soil. Arya stumbled backward as light poured out, forming patterns in the air, symbols, maps, fragments of history floating and shifting like living stars. The man shouted something in an ancient language, then fled into the forest. Arya, still trembling, looked into the chasm and saw it, a massive stone door, covered in carvings of constellations and time-worn faces. At its center, one symbol pulsed, the same one engraved on her grandfather's ring. Her voice cracked in, "Grandfather, what did you hide here?" The wind rose again, carrying whispers that circled her like ghosts. "Not yet. Not ready." The map in her hand began to glow again, brighter this time, aligning with the symbols on the door. But just as she reached out, the light from the map dimmed, and the ground beneath her gave way. She fell into darkness. The echo of waves faded, replaced by the sound of ticking endless ticking, like 1,000 clocks echoing in the void. And then, faintly, a voice, not her grandfather's this time, but someone younger. "Arya, don't trust them." Her eyes widened in terror. She landed on a stone floor surrounded by murals depicting explorers, ships, and horizons. A beam of dim light flickered from the ceiling, revealing a set of stairs leading deeper underground, and on the wall, written in dried ink, were the words, "The island remembers." Arya took a breath, clutching the map to her chest. She had no choice now but to follow the stairs. With every step, the ticking grew louder, and a faint hum echoed from below, mechanical, alive and waiting. Dramatic pause, wind and ambient hum fade in, and as the screen fades to black, the narrator whispers, "Every secret comes at a cost." And sometimes the past refuses to stay buried, to be continued. You've been listening to XYED Mysteries, where truth hides behind shadows and curiosity is the only key. Stay tuned for episode 3 of The Lost Map, coming soon because the island has only just begun to speak. And so, the shadows deepen and the truth seems closer than ever, yet still hidden behind the veil of time. What lies beyond this discovery? What secret awaits in the next chapter of our journey? You'll find out in the next episode of the Chronicles of the Lost Map. If you enjoyed this episode and want to uncover what happens next, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to XYED Mysteries. Hit that bell icon so you never miss the next unfolding mystery. Your support keeps our stories alive and the adventure going.